We're here at Top of the World in Laguna Beach, and I brought you here because I wanted to show you this awesome view of Saddleback Valley. Way out in the distance there, we can see Saddleback Mountain with Santiago and Majesca peaks. We got the city of Aliso Viejo here in front of us, and all of this hilly space in the foreground, these are the San Joaquin Hills. The Saddleback Valley in between, and on the far side, the foothills. So we can see all the way out to Rancho Santa Margarita. We can see Lake Forest, all of it. Now, something that's pretty interesting about this area, of course, this was inhabited for thousands of years by people native to this region. There was the Hachimans and the Tongva, and they had a general dividing line right over here in Aliso Canyon, with everything south being more the Hachiman tribe and everything north all the way through to Los Angeles and the whole basin there being part of the Tongbas. In the late 1700s is when the Spanish came, and they claimed this entire area for their nation and their king. And the king doled out the land in ranchos to all of the big bosses that he was friends with, his relationships. So this whole area became transformed from the 1700s on into becoming ranchos. All the different ranchos here, like Rancho Niguel, Rancho Lomas de Santiago, Rancho Mission Viejo, names that you maybe have heard before. And these ranchos were spots where the cattle would graze and were owned by single landowners. After the Mexican Revolution in 1821 became part of Mexico, and then in 1848, after the Mexican-American War, it became part of the United States. And many of those ranchos, so all this land here was privately owned and was eventually sold to people coming from the East Coast. But what's really interesting is that most of Laguna was not part of the ranchos. And so everywhere from about Main Beach south was open land. And when people came to this area in the late 1800s, 1871 in fact was the first person to come here from the east, and their name was George and Sarah Thurston, and they were homesteaders. So if you haven't heard about it, the Homestead Act back then in the mid 1800s allowed people to come from the East Coast, and if they farmed a certain section of land for 5 years, they could receive up to 160 acres of land from the government. And therefore, right, all this area was privately held, but everything behind us over here in Laguna Beach ended up splitting into small little, well, I wouldn't say small, 160 acre plots that people took and then ended up developing over time. So pretty interesting history. Hey there, hope you enjoyed it. That's a short clip from a video we have titled A Day in Laguna with Antho. You can click here to watch it in its entirety. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.